During this time of year, thoughts of love are in the air. But what is love without a healthy heart? Naperville News Extra's Alyssa Bohenick has the story of two Naperville residents and their specific forms of heart disease, and how far we've come with medical treatment right here in town.
Meet Gerald Glab and Noelle Priolo, two Naperville residents who have one thing in common: heart disease.
They all call me the Bionic Man.
The heart is a muscle, and in my opinion, it needed to be worked out.
Noelle's story began 4.5 years ago, the morning she gave birth to her daughter. And while most expecting mothers have worries, she had some that stretched beyond normal.
I found myself telling my husband how I want her to be raised if I don't make it through childbirth.
During the last few weeks of her pregnancy, Noelle's body had been giving signs that something wasn't right. And after successfully giving birth to her healthy daughter, her fears became real.
I got into the recovery room. I went unconscious. My blood pressure completely bottomed out. I stopped breathing. I turned blue. And they had to pump me full of additional fluids to just resuscitate me and bring me back.
After countless trips to the hospital, Noelle was diagnosed with peripartum cardiomyopathy, or PPCM, a rare form of heart disease that can only affect women.
Peripartum cardiomyopathy is heart failure that occurs in women who are actually nearing the end of their pregnancy, or women with heart failure just a couple months after they deliver a baby.
PPCM only affects about 1 in 3,000 pregnant women, causing the heart to become weakened and enlarged, making it harder to pump blood throughout the body. The disease can strike anyone, but women more at risk include those over 30 with preeclampsia and high toxin exposure. The symptoms can be easily confused with normal pregnancy side effects.
Shortness of breath when they're exerting themselves or when they're walking. They'll have more fatigue than would be expected after a pregnancy. Swelling in both of their legs, that's kind of usually where the swelling starts. And it's simply because the heart is getting so weak, it can't keep up with the demand for the body and fluid just accumulates.
For Noelle, her recovery started by eating healthier, exercising more, and taking medications that were able to strengthen her heart back to normal. 81-year-old Gerald Glab shares similar experiences to Noelle, as his health also suddenly took a turn for the worst.
I'd had a heart attack about 20 years ago, and but I had stents put in, and I was doing fine, but then all of a sudden I started having these congestive heart failure attacks.
Back in 2007 and 2008, Gerald suffered 2 congestive heart failure attacks that almost took his life.
What happens, the liquid builds up around the heart, and strange as it may seem, you actually feel like you're drowning. You can't catch your breath, and it's not a very nice experience. As I say, I had 2 of them, and both times I was put in the hospital because of it.
Like Noelle, Gerald found hope right here in Naperville. He took part as a research subject in a clinical trial at Edward Hospital, testing a procedure that involves placing a wireless monitor in his pulmonary artery and transmitting that data directly to a healthcare provider at Edward Hospital.
It measures the pumping pressure in the heart, and by measuring the pumping pressure, they can predict when you're going to have a congestive heart failure attack, and they could take corrective measures to stop it. And since I've had the device implanted, I have not had another congestive heart attack.
Thanks to cutting-edge technology, heart disease treatment is getting better every day.
When I first trained, a normal cholesterol was called 300. Today, that would be scary high. Back then, if you came in with a heart attack, you had a 25% chance of dying. Today, if you come in with a heart attack, you have less than a 2% chance of dying.
But despite the medical advancements, heart disease is still a national problem that continues to grow due to lifestyle habits.
To just make you live longer and you're not better off for it, that doesn't help you. So I think it's important that we've improved quality of life as well as length of life. So we're seeing more people, but we're able to do more things, so people are able to live longer and return to a normal life.
For Gerald and Noelle, that means not just living, but living a quality life in a way that's meaningful to each of them.
I'm a fisherman, and it allows me to continue to go out and do my fishing and not worry about winding up in a hospital up in the middle of nowhere.
As a celebration of life for me and for Gianna, I want to raise her knowing to give back and knowing that she's a part of the bigger picture.
I'm Melissa Bohenick for Naperville News Extra.